Welcome to the Harris Show. I'm your host, Jamal Radio Raheem, with my sister co-host, Angie Ang.
Good.
Y'all don't be getting a lot of these episodes consistently, you know what I'm saying? We be busy, but you got one this week. So we're going to be all over the place. There's been a lot of stuff that happened. I got it in my trusty old phone right here. So we're going to start it off with the white student who is suing Howard for racial discrimination.
That's where we're starting.
Started off with that one. So there's a white student. His name doesn't need to be said. Suing Howard and HBCU for racial discrimination. The irony in that is just hilarious to me. But I guess, how do you feel? Give your thoughts.
Let me be filtered.
Don't filter yourself.
I just think that's quite interesting how they go to a HBCU and do that and sue them. And I'm very curious as to what type of discrimination they feel that they felt. So yeah, I guess I'm just more like, that is interesting. Why go to HBCU in the first place? I feel like you didn't have good intentions. Like it just it didn't sit well with me.
Yeah. I feel like, oh man. Now I have to actually filter myself. I feel like the irony in a white student suing a black school, when the only reason why the black school exists because white people didn't want black people going to their school, is hilarious to me. But like, you're not getting discriminated because your race. Like, I don't even know like him, but I already know he ain't getting discriminated because his race. He probably said some shit, probably did some
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. I feel like I need more details.
Like the school is racial discriminating against you. Like the school, like
If
students,
the school was discriminating, you wouldn't have gotten it. That's how I'm
like the school is doing it. Like students might have done it, but like students do whatever. That's not the school's fault. But I just find it ironic that a white student is suing a black university on racial discrimination when he could have chose any school, any school in America, any school, he wouldn't have got discriminated against like other people, like black people have to go through, like women have to go through. He really got hear that.
This happened I'm reading it right now.
2020.
2020, 2 million. It's crazy.
Like, and he's saying like, oh, he was reportedly the most hated person on campus. I would say, well, most white students who are going to a HBCU, there's going to be people who already feel a way about you for you attending an HBCU. That's supposed to be like a safe space for black people. Like, whether my feelings on certain things, that don't really matter, but HBCU is supposed to be a safe space for black people. So the fact that you're going there is already going to draw some eyes, because out of all the schools, you pick the black school.
I don't have no sympathy. It says, first of all, he got expelled. It says he had numerous infractions, but the one that got him kicked out, he reposted a tweet that he took a picture of a slave with scars on his back with the caption, "But we don't know what he did before the picture was taken."
Oh, he not winning that lawsuit. He did that at a HBCU. He lucky he didn't get his ass beat.
And yeah, that's done and that's dead. That's dead. That whole issue.
And he did this in DC, black ass DC. So he lucky he didn't get beat up.
Yeah, he's not winning that. Case is closed.
I didn't even look into it because I was like,
that's why I was like,
it's not even worth me looking into, because I find it to be very ironic that a white student going to a HBCU is suing a HBCU for racial discrimination. That doesn't happen.
That's so crazy.
Anything, black people are the most like, oh, everybody come kumbaya. Like, like, yeah, there are people who discriminate against other people. I'm not gonna act like that's not a thing, but I'm like, come on, come on.
The nerve of you to do that after. Okay.
But listen, I feel that way about any white person who goes to a HBCU. I'm not saying white people shouldn't go to HBCUs. If you want to go, it's America. But I feel like, why out of all the schools are you choosing to go to a HBCU? Like, unless you got like a sports scholarship, that's the only reason I understand that,
Mhm,
or a academic scholarship.
mhm,
That's the only reason I understand it. Like, hey, I can't afford school too. I get it, but why apply to a HBCU as a white person or a non-black person? To be honest, I don't understand that. I never understood it. I just like, I don't understand why white people want to join um, the quote unquote black fraternities and sororities, because I don't believe there's a such thing. But when they join, like when there's like a Q who's a white dude, I'm like, why? Like, what? Why? Like, what cultural significance is this doing for you? What value is this adding to
Nothing.
you? So,
We should
but
have.
I hope he loses that suit. I hope
That's crazy.
Howard countersues.
That's
um,
crazy. Like he was expelled and everything. Like that's why he probably didn't think he would get expelled.
he probably didn't think, because the black school probably gave him more chances than he probably deserved.
Yeah, they said numerous infractions. So this
Like,
ain't his.
it's gonna be a story if the one of the like 10 white people that go to your school gets expelled. Like,
That's why I'm like, it happened in 2020, and I just saw that story today.
yeah,
So interesting.
um, yeah, he's not winning. But moving along. So this is something I didn't know. Um, the FDA approved the first condom for anal.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
we're grown people, so first
I
of all,
I saw that and was like, so they weren't the regular ones don't work. Like what?
yeah, that's a little surprising. I'm like, so if people were like, we're assuming people were strapping up.
Mhm.
Um, so like the condom wasn't okay to be going in people's booty holes.
That's what I'm saying. So now I'm wondering if there's gonna be like a commercial in 10 years. It's like, have you used the Trojan? Entitled to compensation.
Use Trojan
And
between
I'm
the
like,
years of 1992
why
and
would they not even like make that known though? Like, I just like what?
yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess like anal. I mean, well, we grow. If y'all listening to this podcast, I'm hoping you don't have your kids around. Uh, and if you do, this is the part you kick them out for. Uh,
Right, that's right. This is where you turn it off.
anal was like a taboo thing, though. It hasn't always been like how like people talk about it now, like eating booty and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Those things weren't normal like 10 years ago. Even though people were doing it, it
They
wasn't
weren't
normal to
publicly saying
discuss.
it.
So I
Yeah.
get why like they probably felt the need to not do it. I think it's irresponsible, but I get why they felt the need to probably not publicly talk about it.
Hella
It's
responsible.
hella irresponsible.
I'm like, what?
I saw the headline. I said, "Huh?"
I was like, so the regular stuff people been using wasn't beneficial for them.
I don't understand. So what? Like, I wonder what damage it could have been doing.
I wonder what this new condom like. What's in it?
People probably was breaking down their asshole and shit,
Ah,
and like they probably thinking like, ah, that dirty nigga. They probably like, you dirty dude, gave me that dirty dick.
I'm
And
really curious as to like what makes it like specifically for booty.
it's not just for booty. It's acceptable to be used in your booty. I just want you to like. That's not.
You don't start seeing people with these brands and you just don't know. Buying the booty ring, folks.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be so crazy. Like if they were just for booty, and then like people buy them,
In
it'd
the
be
store.
people get shamed. Like Plan B people get shamed.
Booty condoms.
You feel hella uncomfortable buying that. Ugh.
Yeah, it just says they're used to reduce STIs. And yeah, that just makes me so
So can you get a STI from like using regular condoms in the booty?
that's what I'm saying. Now I'm like, were they not protecting people? And the like, isn't the point of a
I don't
okay?
know. Like maybe I need to take
I mean,
another sex ed class because I sound hella uneducated on this. But
maybe it's like, well, I don't even know because I'm not an expert in this.
in the booty hole
uh,
field.
but maybe it decreases the chances when they're using. I mean, increases the chances when they use a regular condom. I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't really go in that area.
FDA to come out and make a statement because I'm very
The
curious.
statement that article wasn't for somebody like me. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it
You didn't
was.
have to worry about the booty hole and the condom with me because that's not a place we're going.
I, I'm just. I was just curious because I was just like, what, what were people supposed to do before? So
Yeah, like so
no, that literally popped up. I like it's weird because that popped up today, and I don't remember where I saw it,
I
but
saw it on Instagram and TikTok today.
so
I
maybe
was like, oh, okay, maybe God wants me to talk about this. But since we're talking about sex, let's go to Nick Cannon.
oh my god.
Um Transition, guys. Ooh, if you see that, getting better. Nick Cannon says his decision to have kids isn't up to him. It's basically on God. Um, I obviously have a lot to say about that, but I feel like you can say it all.
It just feels dirty. I'm sorry. It feels that statement feels dirty. Like only God can stop me. No, you can stop yourself because you're a grown man and you can make these decisions. I'm just I just think of like he's smashing all these women unprotected. And it's like I highly doubt he taking the necessary precautions to make sure he's not passing along any
All these women also smashing him, knowing what he's doing.
exactly. Everyone's an adult. They know what they're doing, but I'm just saying. It just feels dirty. And like it's funny because I forgot who I was talking to, but they had made a comment like, man, it's been like a month since Nick Cannon announced another baby. And I'm just like, something's coming.
Yeah,
Something's three about to drop out of nowhere.
Nick Cannon's an interesting fellow to me. I find that statement to be ridiculous. Like only God knows. No, nigga, God invented vasectomies. He invented condoms.
Yeah.
Like, or he also you can pull out. You don't always have to bust inside somebody. Like there's so many methods that he can use.
That's what I'm saying.
If he doesn't want to, like, he could get a vasectomy, and if he wanted another kid, you could easily reverse that shit.
The thing
So
is he wants to keep populating.
Nick Cannon, he's interesting to me because he's like he always preaches black love, black positivity, and I'm like yes. But then when you look at the women he like interacts with, I'm like, hey man, you pretty close to white.
You pretty
Pretty
close to
close.
the
You
line.
on the line. You like you getting the people who are 51% and they and even a white, they're not all black. The ones that
Yeah.
and I'm like, it's a little weird when people be doing that. I always find it a little hypocritical,
It's
but
business. Nick
yeah,
Cannon. I think Nick Cannon, it's weird because it's not like he the first person to have all
no,
these fucking kids. It's just he's very public and it's very close. Like his kids are very, very, very
they're
close.
all like the same age.
Yeah, and I that's what makes me a little that's nasty.
He's not the first person to have a whole bunch of kids.
No,
He's
there's
not the
so
first celebrity. Elon
many
Musk has a lot of kids.
shadow
But you know
children.
what? Personally, I don't really care. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Um, when like celebrities who aren't black are having a lot of kids, I personally don't really care. Um, because I usually just care. I care more about Black people and Black issues that are going on with the Black community. So usually when celebrities who aren't Black, I'm like, I don't
No,
really
I'm
care.
still like, why? I guess I'm more curious as to why people have so many kids.
The
Because
thought process, I
I
don't understand.
but I mean, I get it. I guess
I
people
don't
want.
understand the thought process because, like, if you just want to have sex,
Mhm.
like, I feel like you can get a vasectomy. I feel like you can use condoms. I feel like shit pull out. I feel like there's so many things. Like now if you want to have all these kids,
Mhm.
like why? I guess because I get that he has money and I'm sure he loves all his kids, but there's
Mhm.
no way you could financially not financially there's no way you could spend the amount of time with these kids when you're
Right, and I
struggling.
also too, I'm like people who are having multiple kids. I'm talking about the people who are having them in multiple different households,
Yeah.
not like one household you decide to have 8 kids. That's cool. But like when you're separating and you got 10 kids with 8 different moms, that's just crazy to me. It's like, why would you do that?
Because it's not even like they're in different houses. Well, I mean that's an issue, but it's like also like there's no way like you can give the right amount of attention to it's I think it's hard with like 2 kids, 3 kids,
It is, yeah.
1 kid. 12? Like, bro,
I don't
that's like
know how many he has. Let me see.
yeah, it's 12.
It's 12.
It's 12. It's
And
12 as it's 12 as we are recording this on a Monday because
right. Monday, the 27th. Because
yeah. So when this comes out on the first, if he has another kid,
he got he only 42. He got a he got some years.
and that's the thing too. I don't know, man. Like you about to be like 60 when your kids are grown.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought too, like people who have their kids really late, it's so interesting. I'm like, you're gonna be 80 before your kid even hit 18.
I get it financially, but I don't understand anybody who's like 60 and then they're having their first kid, like men, because women it's pretty hard for y'all to have kids after a certain age.
It's like
But
men,
I'm
yeah.
like, why at 60? I feel like that's selfish. I think to have kids is selfish. Everything's selfish. But like, I think it's real selfish to have a kid at 60 because you're not gonna be most likely you're not gonna be around for majority of your kid's life.
Unless you live a long life to 100.
Even if you live to 100,
Your kids be
you're gonna
40.
be in 40 years of your kid's life.
That's a lot of years.
But 40 years, 40 is young as hell.
A lot of people, I'm just saying, that's 40. 40 is pretty good.
I'm just saying, it's pretty young.
It's because we got parents who had us young. So it's just, it's always weird to me.
Yo, it's so weird. It's
I'm
so
like,
weird because I have kids whose parents are older than my parents, and
yeah,
and they be like, they be like, oh yeah, my dad's only like 55. I'm like, damn, your dad's older than my dad.
right. That's what it just, I feel like because to us, we just, you know, we have some youngs.
I don't know if that's pretty normal for a lot of people to like. They have a lot of cultures too. They have kids young. Um, I'm not saying like anything about people having kids young and if it's a good or bad thing, but like a lot of cultures they do that, and I find it's like normal now to have kids later. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. I guess we're gonna find
But
out.
realizing like I still want to live my life before having a kid.
Yeah, we're gonna find out if it's a good or a bad thing with how these kids are gonna grow up.
Yeah.
But we go it's 15 years, we'll see. But it's very weird when kids' parents are older than my parents.
Mhm.
But I also have some kids'
Middle school,
parents.
my when I was in middle school, I had people whose parents were already in their 60s, and I'm like, damn, my parents are.
Also, like I have people who their dad is like 12 years older than their mom.
Mm,
And it's like, oh, well, your dad is old.
yeah, mom's youngest. Yeah, it's so weird. It's not. I shouldn't say weird. It's just different. It's
Like some people have like siblings my age. Like I have a couple.
Oh my god. And
my age. They're like their siblings are like 27, your age. They're actually your age, and I'm like, oh, and then they're like 11. I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah, no.
Now that's a little that's weird for me,
That's sort of like, okay.
but let's
That's
move on because I'm gonna mess around and say a name of one of my students, and I'm gonna have to fucking edit it out. Um, yeah, crazy. Um,
right.
so Michael B. Jordan, did you see the thing with the bully?
Yeah.
Um,
I think he oh sorry, go ahead, introduce it.
I mean, go ahead. It's pretty. I
I
don't know how
I
else
think
to
he
explain it.
handled that so gracefully. Because listen, the way she was like, "Oh no, that's a what did she say? Like a what the
She
fuck?
said with a jokey joke. I don't know what she
No,
said.
no, no. She said it was like it was. Oh my god, what is the word?
Wow.
Well, so they mistook what she said. Um, so she was like, no, 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 that's definitely like wrong, whatever. But I'm like, ooh, you trifling. You know you was over here making fun of this man, saying all this stuff about him, and then you still gonna go and try to interview him. That's
I
so
That's my thing. I think
I would never do that. I'm just gonna have to take my L and just do
his body language, his body language said, "Nah, you did like you was mean, like you was very mean, like you was
yeah,
hurtful." Like his body language wasn't like, "Oh, you used to kid around and I was the butt of the joke." It was like, "Nah, y'all were very mean," and you
yeah.
can tell by his body language.
Yeah, and I read some of the things that the kids would say about him. I'm like,
Mind
he's
you, mind
so
you too, mind you too. I don't understand them calling Michael B. Jordan like corny and stuff like that in high school. This man was already in The Wire. He
in one
already
of the
got
most popular
hardball.
shows.
Like I'm like, what?
First of
What
all,
are you
he said
talking about?
hardball. Like what? He had
Like,
some
what are
credit.
we talking about right now?
Yeah,
Like
no, that's
it
wild.
wasn't like he wasn't in stuff.
And
Like
like, I don't know. I didn't like the interview anyways because especially when Jonathan Fine Ass Majors came up and she was like, "Oh, who's the sexiest one?" And then he was like, "There's no competition." And then she still kept going at it. I'm like, "Girl, drop it. You already on his bad side. Just no,
yeah, I don't know if I would handle it as gracefully because
I don't. I don't think.
personally, when we do take off, I have a lot of names that I'm going to read from a book. Because there's people that like there's a couple there's a teacher in particular who doubted me with
Mm.
anything in my life. So she's gonna get it. I don't even know if she's still alive. If
Oh.
she's dead, I'm gonna still bring her ass up
Oh my gosh.
it's on her
Oh my
grave
God.
because like
Yeah, I don't. That's the thing, though. I don't think I've ever had. I'm trying to think, have I ever had any teachers really like put that on me? And it's like the fact that teachers,
probably not. You probably not. You were
no, I
really
doubt it. But the fact that teachers do that is so wild to me because
yeah.
it's like supposed to be uplifting these children, and here you are.
Yeah, man, that teacher told me I wasn't gonna be nothing.
Sick. It's like, can
Like,
you help them?
and she would like compare me to Jaquil.
Mm.
Like Jaquil had her. So like I'm like I was like, you compare me to my brother all I want. I know my brother don't want to be in your class, you musty hoe. That teacher's breath smells so bad. Like if
Oh,
anybody went to Del
oh, I'm gonna
Rio,
try to guess the teacher after because there's one teacher
she's the
that's
one anybody went to Del Rio and was in my
oh,
class
it's Del Rio. Never mind.
in Del Rio and was in my class, and I was in the library one day and I threw up. I wasn't sick, guys. Her breath stank. I was tired and I had my head down. That bitch breath smelled so bad. I threw up.
Oh my
Threw
god,
up in the library.
that's terrible. Somebody breast stinking that bad.
Yeah, I threw up. I was like, no, I'm just tired. And she spoke. I don't know what she said to me, but
That's
um, yeah, I don't know, man. People gotta like be careful who you. It's not even because like they're gonna grow up to be Michael B. Jordan. It's like,
Right.
don't
It's
you
not
shouldn't talk bad. And I'm sure I've been somebody to talk bad to somebody before,
Mhm.
like, because sometimes I know I go too far sometimes with my jokes. Like, there's jokes that I've said too far on this that I had to cut out. Luckily, I edited it. So, like, I know I can go too far,
Yeah.
but I
Honestly,
try to
that's
be.
what I'm like. I know when I was in elementary, like I was so mean and and like I pray that those people like I come in contact so I can apologize. But after elementary, I was pretty good. Like I feel like I won't have those issues running into people. But there are people who are mean to me that I will forever remember, and I'm like, mm, 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 can't come back over here.
Yeah,
Look,
I
kid.
remember. I remember when people do me wrong. That's probably a bad trait to have, but it's also a good trait to have sometimes. Because I remember when people would say certain things, like "you wouldn't do this, you wouldn't do that," and I'm like, "All right." One thing about me, I ain't never gonna be without a job, and I ain't never gonna struggle.
Mhm.
Like, like I'm gonna be fine. Like if I gotta work 2 jobs, 3 jobs to do what I gotta do, I will do it. But like I ain't gonna be like some of them people told me. And then I had a teacher in high school tell me like, "Oh, you should just go to the military,"
Mhm.
and I was like, "Or I can just go to college." Like
Right, like that's an option as
I
well.
told, he was like, "Oh, what schools you applying to?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm probably going to community college." He was like, "You should just go to the military." Like,
Oh my god, this is why I'm like, man, some of these educators.
yeah, man. And some of them think they're like doing good. The dude who told me this, he was in the military. He former military teacher. He was my history teacher. He wasn't a bad dude, but like I don't think people realize how that comes off when you say some
Right.
shit like that.
Now you're just telling me I ain't gonna make it out. I just need to do this.
Yeah, like no offense to anybody who was in the military, but like I have more. I want more than like to be in the military. Like, sorry, that's not for me. That's
I don't
not.
think that's bad. I just think people should be allowed to have options, and I think a lot of the time, especially in inner city schools, these teachers know like they're just like, hey, this is the only way out, and I think it's fucked up because there's so many things people can do.
And you and it and this happens. I'm sure this happens way more in schools with like I'm not saying Del Rio was like great because it
No,
definitely
but
wasn't, but
like,
it wasn't poor.
right.
Like some of the schools, like just imagine what some of these teachers are saying to these students. They probably saying way worse. Like I know too many people who have a story when they're like, "Yeah, this teacher doubted me."
Sad.
Um, and there's also people who lie and be like, "Yeah, y'all doubted me." It's like, no, you just wasn't doing your work. Like I did my work, so but like I find it very weird that you would get in a profession as a teacher and
Be like,
are this evil because it's not for the pay.
mm,
It's really not for the pay. Like if you're working in teaching, like you're doing it for a love, and for you to be that evil, like y'all are with the kids more than the parents. Like you have a very critical part you play on these kids'
that's
life.
why I'm like, you're supposed to be speaking life into these kids. Like it's so sad.
But and like to people who have bullies, the bullies, um, like if you could apologize to the person, apologize. Not everybody's gonna forgive you. Not everybody's gonna forget what the hell you said. But if you got the opportunity to do it, then do it.
Yeah.
Um, not because they have a chance of becoming Michael B. Jordan, but like it's the freaking right thing to do.
Only like don't do it just because you're doing it. But I feel like if you don't, you should probably feel some type of way. Like, damn,
And if you're not sorry, don't do what that girl did. That's embarrassing. Like I'm embarrassed for her because
yeah.
you treated him wrong, and you still gonna try to interview him. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. If you picked on me, you talk crazy about me,
Hmm.
don't interview me
Yeah.
because
But
I won't take it that gracefully.
yeah.
I will shit on you.
The thing is too, like he said it so like subtle. And I was like, wait, what
But
happened?
his body language, like his
Yeah.
body language told me everything I needed to know. Like it told me everything I need to know. It told me what she did to him, how she talked to him. It gave me every little thing. I was like, "Oh, you was not a good person to him."
Oh, like, oh, you really was out here. Yeah.
Like that's so sad. But and we only got a few minutes left. But man, Chris Brown fans, I'm gonna leave a message for y'all because y'all been getting on my nerves.
Oh no.
Um, the stuff y'all are saying stuff like, "Oh, Rihanna forgave him. Y'all should just get over it." Karuchi forgave him. Forgiving somebody doesn't mean you forget. Forgiving somebody doesn't mean you get over everything that happened or you trust that person again. Like
Mhm,
I forgive somebody is not for them, it's for me.
mhm.
It's never gonna be for that person. If I'm forgiving you, it's for me so I can move on. But like they were saying stuff like, "Oh, she forgave him," and somebody was like, because they said like Chris Carucci had a lifetime warranty. That was like not warranty warrant. What is it called?
Uh, Restraining order.
Restraining order. Restraining order.
A warranty on what?
I'm thinking of my air fryer. It's like I gotta, but whatever. It was like she's like got a restraining order, and they were like, no, it's only 5 years. The fact that she has to get a restraining order is the
You're
problem,
missing the
people.
whole part.
That is the problem. Like, you can say you like Chris Brown and like Chris Brown's music. That's
Right.
fine. But the comment section was very sickening. It was a lot of dark skinned women at that. So that makes it even worse for me because this nigga's track record, he don't fuck with
Yeah, I
y'all.
was about to say he's not looking too good with the color
He
stuff.
be kicking y'all out of his section. He be doing all type of shit. So I personally don't understand why people are defending him. Black women in particular, I don't understand why they're defending him, going to his shows and doing stuff like that. Yes, the nigga is talented,
Mhm.
but talent, okay, he has done bad things. You can be a fan of his music, just say that, but stop defending the crazy thing that he's done because it's just sickening and it's sad. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. If I was a black woman, I would be fucking embarrassed.
Uh,
I'm like, I would be embarrassed. Like it's sickening. Stop it.
yeah, I would not be defending him. That's not.
It's so sad. Like, and like people could be like, it was so long ago. He was a teenager. At 19 years old, you know not to put your hands on somebody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not forgiving unless it's self defense, which this shit wasn't. Then I don't know. Not a fan. Y'all canceled Daniel Caesar.
Daniel Caesar, he just dropped a song too. I was like, dang, ain't no promo.
This shit was good. Y'all canceled Daniel
It
Caesar, and
was
all
a
he
good
did was
song.
say
It was a
he
good
said
song.
some stupid stuff. But
Okay,
Chris
let's
Brown
finish
being
off.
people.
You gotta
Uh,
end
All
it.
right. But it might get part might get cut out. But this has been the Harris Show. I've been your boy Jamal Radio Raheem with my sister and co-host Angie Ang. We'll catch y'all when we catch y'all. Peace out. If y'all want to be a guest too, slide them Angie's DM. Bye.
Yeah.